Hello, Gabbers.
Heidi ho, Gabbers.
Welcome back to Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
My name is Carolyn.
And this week's episode is probably our most exciting episode we've ever had because we interviewed someone from Vanderpump fucking Rules.
His name is Peter Madrigal, and he is such a delight to talk to. I actually think people are going to really like this episode. He gives some tea.
We asked him a lot of fan questions and we were like, hey, you don't have to answer these if you don't want to. And he just was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll answer them. So it was really fun.
Yeah, he was great. My voice is obviously going. He was really nice about that. You know, all good things on Girls Unscripted. I'm really excited for this one to come out.
Oh, me too. Yeah. So Carolyn, she's definitely been going through some woes with her voice. You were sick. You were sick last Thursday, so you couldn't come to my Halloween party.
Honestly, I'm just hoping that's what it's been, that I've just been sick.
I bet it is. Your voice now, is it better than it was 2 days ago?
No.
Oh. I wanted you to say yes. I wanted you to say yes so I could be like, you're healing. But I don't have anything for you. I don't have anything for you. But I will say, not to toot my own horn, but my Halloween party, dressed as a hamburger, it was a rager.
It looked like so much fucking fun. You and Dan were just a match made in heaven, if I can say so myself.
He was a hot dog, I was a hamburger, and for our guests, we grilled up hot dogs and hamburgers. And let me give a tip. It was actually sick. Let me give a tip to anyone who is trying to host a party but still loves their sleep. Do it on a Thursday. Because chances are 70% of your party has work the next day. It's not going to go past midnight. And that's what we did.
Oh, great. That's like such the perfect length of a party. It's enough to get your party on and then to get it off. You know what I mean?
Now, granted, we did go to the bar after, and that was a mistake.
Shut up. Where'd you go?
Well, we went to go to Backstage in Culver City. It's like a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
But my friend Sarah, as we're pulling up to the bar, goes, oh, I don't have my ID, but I'm sure that's okay. I'm like, Sarah, you actually look 17. So we didn't end up getting it, needless to say. And it was funny because all of our friends were inside. We didn't get in because she didn't have her ID. And she was like, just go. It's fine. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking go without you. I don't really care that much about this bar. But I had shoved, because I had this big... bulky hamburger costume on. So I had shoved White Claws in my bra because they couldn't see them through the hamburger costume. So I was like, I'll just bring these in the bar. It'll be fine. I'll save money. Well, I had to walk in the bar, like making sure these fucking White Claws don't fall out just to be like, hey, we didn't get in. It was kind of a shit show. But what is Halloween if not a shit show?
I was really hoping you were going to say that you hid hot dogs in your in your suit. And you were just reaching in all night, grabbing a dog here and there.
To be honest, missed opportunity. And I really should have. I really should have.
If I were there, I would have made sure it happened.
And you are just a saint for that. So we're going to we do have a pretty long interview with Peter. So we're not going to do a weekly gab this week. To be honest, there's really not that much crazy. Let's see what happened. Teddy Mellencamp's getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's all that I can recall.
I'm sure our listeners are going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? There's so many things.
This and this and this and this and this.
And that's why you guys are better than us. And that's why we do this for you, so you can keep us honest. But our Peter interview was just good and it was long. And we want to save time for you guys to be able to listen to all of that. So without further ado,
here's our interview with Peter Madrigal.
Woo!
Is that drinking? Are you drinking there, Kate?
Peter, I have to do it.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah. Well, before we went on, Carolyn and I were like, is there something we could drink that's like Peter themed? We were like trying to think,
right?
What's your drink of choice? Tequila?
It's tequila. I don't have any more. This is a big bottle. Too. Look at that.
That's a huge bottle for you being sober the last 2 months.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a sober October to me.
No, but I was sober from September till Do I have anything? Here's a little bit of tequila for you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, this is a perfect segue for me to give you your intro, the Girls Unscripted way. So, Peter, welcome to Girls Unscripted. You are one of the longest running cast members on Vanderpump Rules. You are the glue of SUR himself, the creator of Reality Network, the hashtag sweaty mess on Instagram. Thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it. It's funny that you ended with the hashtag sweaty mess. That's
Did
funny.
you like that?
That
We
was
thought it
Carol.
special
That's
touch.
it's actually kind of hilarious. I didn't take a sweaty mess picture today. I just forgot. I just was like, I was so tired that I just get through the workout and get it done. I think I'm the only one that uses that hashtag.
It's your hashtag.
I've never seen anyone else use it.
You should trademark it.
I know.
It behooves you. It really fits you.
I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. Hashtag sweaty mess.
That's what I'm
water.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Get the domain.
All right,
The whole
sounds
thing.
good. I'll do that. I don't know if they can incorporate emojis though.
Oh, anything's possible.
I do own numberoneguy.com.
You own
so-
numberoneguy.com. Shut up.
Yeah, I've owned that for a while.
I
was
never
selling
knew
product
that.
on there. Yeah, I got to restart it. It's just I've been so busy that I haven't been looking at it, but I do own that.
What were you selling?
The website is down right now because I have not been paying attention to it, so I kind of suspended it. But I was selling candles. I was selling T-shirts. Oh yeah. Oh
Does
yeah.
Jax know about that?
Oh, Jax knew, and he went off on someone named P-T-R-E-E-R. So I don't know who he was referencing in that because my name is spelled P-E-T-E-R. And he said something to the effect of, "I hear that you own numberoneguy.com. That's my line. Everyone in the world knows that that's my line."
That sounds like him.
Yeah, but he literally said, because I didn't respond. Because he didn't say anything to me.
Right.
First
he
of
thought
all,
he did.
okay. No, first of all, if you're misspelling my name, that means that you have either you're stupid or you have an anger problem. Either way, you're not the number one guy. Okay. Number two, number one guy as far as what is concerned. You are the number one guy in what group? It's a group that doesn't exist.
That's true. That's a good point. There were
I
not
mean, literally
specifics.
does not exist. You gave yourself that moniker. I go back to Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. He was to say he's the king is not the king.
That's a good comparison.
There you
I
go.
think that Jax wouldn't be happy with that comparison either.
Joffrey Lannister?
Or Joffrey, or what was the other one? Tyrion? Both are not great.
No, so Tywin was the grandpa. And so in the scene, Joffrey is like, ring! And Tywin, his grandfather, was like, he who has to say he's the king is not the king.
Okay, wait a second. Yeah, Brain Blast. Jax being compared to Joffrey is kind of an amazing comparison. And we'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much again, Peter. We met each other. We were honored to do a panel with you at Comic-Con
was
with our
fun.
mutual friend.
fun.
It was so fun. Our mutual friend Rob from the podcast.
Shout out to
Vanderpump
Rob
Rules.
Schulte.
Shout out. Sorry, my voice is like dying. I don't know if you can tell.
Were you super excited, screaming because Peter's on your
She was
speaker?
screaming from the rooftops.
For 3 hours, it's all I could do. It's a miracle I'm able to speak now. But we talked about all sort of things, reality television, which, beating around the bush will lead us to our straight first juicy question. How does Comic-Con differentiate from Gasparilla pirate festivals in Florida?
Okay. Well, what?
I'll say this. That was our first convention of sorts that Carolyn and I have been to. Yeah. And we know that you have lots of experience at the Gasparilla Pirate Fest. So we were wondering if that was a similar vibe or if Gasparilla, we want to know more about Gasparilla.
At the Comic-Con, you're there to, check out some toys or go to see panels or, just buy stuff, paraphernalia, whatever. But Gasparilla, you dress like a pirate and you get drunk. It's like Mardi Gras, but you dress like a pirate.
Hell
That's
yeah.
the
Wait,
difference.
that sounds so sick.
There's no me sitting around on a panel talking about reality network.
So it's a bit more lively.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like Mardi Gras. And people do throw out beads. But it's like Mardi Gras, but dressed like a pirate.
I have an inappropriate question.
Do it, ask
God.
it, ask it, ask it.
Do you have to show your hook for some beads?
Nice, Kate.
You're like
Nice.
that?
That's a funny question.
That was bad. Don't
was
don't answer
hilarious.
that. Don't answer that.
That was hilarious. And no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have to. I don't.
Okay, you know what? That makes me feel better about Gasparilla. You mentioned Reality Network, and I want to make sure all of our listeners know exactly what that is. You've been on reality TV for years, obviously. So what made you want to create your own network?
What ended up happening was the whole story between me and Bravo. What ended up like Bravo was like, we don't have any money in the budget for you. I was like, well, I'm not going to be on the show. And then I got a movie, and what ended up happening, the strikes happened. So that was 2 jobs that I was not able to take. You know what I mean? Because so I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to start my own network.
Right.
That's basically because I remember asking my now business partner. I was asking him because he's been in the business. He was an executive for a couple of big networks, and I asked him. I was like, how do I get something greenlit in this city? He's like, I'll help you get something greenlit. And then he came up with the idea of like, why don't we just make our own network? I said, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. So it's funny because we were on a call today with a marketing agency, a marketing firm, actually, and that's something I got to work on tonight concerning a potential big name that we got coming to the table. So
Okay.
it should be interesting.
And what are some of the shows that you have on Reality Network? I know one is already out, right?
Okay, so I have a bunch of shows. It's funny because the head of this marketing firm, he was all like, he couldn't stop watching Catching Cheaters. But so I have a show called Catching Cheaters. I have a show called The Hair Cult. The Hair Cult is it's similar to Vanderpump Rules, but takes place in a hair salon. So
Wait,
it's like
I
the
love
drama
that.
yeah. There's also a show on there called The Verge. The Verge is on these 6 transplants from different areas of the country coming to LA. So it's about underground hip hop in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And then my personal favorite is probably the most vanilla comfort food of all comfort food. And it's called Eat Up With Al. And Eat Up With Al, he goes to different, it's 180 degrees opposite of Kitchen Nightmares, where Al Whiting, who was on the movie The Waterboy, he's the one that gets his eyes poked by Adam Sandler. In The Waterboy.
Of course.
Okay, he does this show, and he goes to these hole-in-the-wall places across the country and reviews their delicious food. Wow. And the problem with me is that whenever I'm watching a new episode, before I put it up on the channel, before I give it an A+ or put it up on the channel, whatever, I always happen to be running at the gym.
Hashtag
I'm already
sweaty
hungry.
mess.
Yeah, so I'm already hungry. I'm hungry. I'm starving. And I get to see this guy munching down on this delicious food. And I'm just like, oh no, damn it. Wrong timing.
Yeah, but you know what? That's how you know the show works, because if it didn't make you hungry, then something would be wrong there.
Exactly. And so like this particular show is just, each episode, for instance, is like its own show in a sense. You know what I mean?
These are full productions. Each one of those takes a lot of work to get off the ground.
Yes, exactly. And I have full seasons of all these shows. So, well, we're working on a couple of the contracts right now. I'm syndicating mostly at the moment before I go and really start producing. But that was today's meeting was the first step into that. But I do have my fingerprints on a few of these shows on the network, actually. So.
Tell us where we can find all these.
So you can go to realitynetwork.tv.
Awesome.
And that's the website for the channel. And then we're on Roku. That's where you can download the channel itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, now riddle us this. Are you planning to ever be on any of these shows?
Of course. I'm already on a couple of them. But I make, like, for instance, Sarah Fraser. I don't know if you all know Sarah Fraser. She's a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Yeah, so she has her own talk show, and I'm on one of her episodes. In fact, I'm on the episode of the talk show where it kind of went a little viral about me talking about TomTom. That's where all that came from. Was the Sarah Fraser show? I
definitely recapped that on TikTok. So yes,
yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, so you can watch that episode on video or on TV. You don't have to listen to it. You can actually watch it on Reality Network.
That's awesome how you do that then. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I did another interview on serving with purpose. So for right now, I'm just kind of like sprinkling myself here and there. But eventually, I'm working on a couple of shows right now. I'm just trying to keep everything in front of me, but I'm working on a couple of different things right now, and you never know. You might be seeing me on something in the future, very near future. Yeah.
That's awesome. I was going to say, we obviously had some fan questions come in, and this wasn't a question, so I didn't even write down who said it. So I apologize, whoever sent this one in. But I feel like, Peter, you are just like the king of interviews. And someone responded and said, your episode of Shenanigans is their favorite podcast episode of all time.
Really?
Yeah. So
You know what's funny? I never listened to it. I saw clips from it. I actually saw myself the other day on a random clip, and I was like, wait, who did she sleep with or something like that? I can't remember like what Sheena was talking about. I was like, wait, what? What happened now? I turned my head like a puppy dog, like
Right.
a year later. What was it, 2023? Yeah, coming out over a year later now, I'm gonna have to like go back and listen to that particular episode, me and Sheena.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone's favorite. So like I said, we did have some fan questions. Carolyn, why don't you kick us off with a question from
Let's go,
someone?
Caroline.
Well, I was going to say, this is a good segue. People asked a lot who you're closest with on the show now and who you hang out with the most.
Sheena.
That's great. She's always
Yeah.
at SUR too. I feel like every time I'm there, you're there, she's there. And I love that.
Yep. Yeah, she's there a lot. Yeah, out of everybody, she's the one that's always there. And then, the other day we went to give my brother did a children's book, a Halloween children's book, and we went and
Oh,
gave
right.
yeah, and we went and gave Summer a copy, and her mom read it to
Aww.
her. Yeah, that night. So we were at her place, and then she had to get ready on a trip, and then that night Brock came in to say hi to because I was working that night, and it was a Friday, and Brock came in and said hi to some guests. So I saw him later on in the day.
I love how you guys do that. I do feel like you guys make it really special for the fans. Every time I've been in there, there's like, you are always there when I'm there, which I think is really special, and it keeps the authenticity of the restaurant. But Sheena and Brock are there a good bit too. I think that's really
Oh
great.
yeah. And then we had Lisa in a couple of Fridays ago.
I
Actually.
saw that. Yeah. There's actually, did you see the photo of you on Reddit? There's an amazing photo of you like opening the car door for Lisa. It looks like it's like out of a movie. It's beautiful. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
I think that was me closing the car door, but yeah, I was.
Oh, gotcha.
I had to like escort her out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Little
I
security.
will say, Peter, when I was there, I was really impressed at how nice, for lack of a better word. I mean, you were so great to fans. I mean, you didn't say no to anybody. You always said, yes, I'll take a photo. You retweet that. I mean, you do all the things. Does it ever get exhausting? You're like, I'm just trying to do my job.
Well, no, actually, it doesn't really get exhausting. It's interesting. What gets exhausting is probably telling the servers what to do. I'm kidding. No, what gets exhausting. No, that can be exhausting. But luckily for me, it's so many people have been there for so long that it's like a well-oiled
Yeah.
machine now. What
Yeah.
can get exhausting, like this last weekend, all the assistant managers were at the head servers rather were at a wedding in St. Louis. So we had and the one of the head servers was getting married, so the other two head servers went. And
Oh,
of course,
wow.
I got invited, but Natalie came to me and he's like, "So Peter, I can't do French. So Peter, you're gonna be here?" Because it was just me and Reed, who's the GM. Because I'm not gonna be the GM. I'm just gonna be Peter SUR manager, and that's it. I've put in my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
But
that.
but yeah. So she was all like, "Are you gonna be here, or are you gonna go to the wedding?" I was all like, "Oh no, I'll be here. It's fine. I'll be here." So I worked like the entire. Of course, I worked Halloween, which was brutal.
Yeah.
But all those the gay pride and the Halloween are brutal. Like
Yeah.
we just get jam packed.
For our listeners that don't know, Halloween in West Hollywood is like Mardi Gras. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense, to say the least. It's intense. And then Friday, I kind of took it easy a little bit, worked for a few hours, but the manager, the Reed, was all like, "Peter, if you want to go home, because I know you're opening for brunch on Saturday and Sunday. If you want to leave early, you can." I was like, "Cool, yeah." So then I opened brunch on Saturday and brunch on Sunday. And those are brutal shifts because I mean, like for me, for instance, I get there pretty early to make sure everything gets set up correctly, and I don't get off till, so I get there around 10, don't get off till 5. So that's like, that you're looking at 7 hours
Damn, yeah.
there. You
Woo!
know, you know,
Gotta get good
in
shoes.
comparison, like, yeah, in compare, in comparison to it, you have the night shift, which I get there at 6, and I get off at around 11, 12. So I mean, it's 6 hours, but it's a little bit more lively, I guess. I don't know. You have with brunch, you have one an hour from like around 12 to 1, where it's really, or 12 to 1:30, where it really gets crazy busy. Whereas
Right.
at the night, the entire night can be busy, and we open up around 11. You know what I mean? But that
Yeah.
that that crowd around 12:30 till around 1:30, 2 o'clock, it just,
Oh, we've been in that
yeah,
crowd. We've been
Yeah.
those people.
Been there
I hate
once or
to-
twice.
I hate to say it, but we've been those people.
And we apologize.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just it's funny to think about, because that happened on Saturday, and it was crazy, because I had people waiting on tables, and I had to adjust things, and.
Right.
But nothing I can't handle.
Well, I just
Hell yeah.
kind of love hearing that, though, about the head server's wedding that all the other head servers went to, because it gives me flashback to like every time Stassi had a fucking birthday and everyone would leave and people were stuck there. And I just love hearing that it's like, that shit isn't just for TV. It's still happening right now. Like everyone is so tight at SUR. And that kind of does bring me to another question, is like, you're still working there. You're still in it, obviously, listening by the way you talk. What do you think the future is going to be for Vanderpump Rules? If there
as
will
far
be
as
one?
as far as that question is concerned, we shall see.
Okay, we'll take it.
Like, I don't really know how to answer that. I'm like, I can't really answer anything at the moment. I've heard rumblings personally, but we'll see. We'll see where we go next.
That answer gives us hope, and that's all we can ask for. And I think that was a very diplomatic answer from you.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Peter
just,
for
there's
president.
got to be some stuff for me,
And as there should be. I feel like
Just
a lot of fans would agree with you for sure.
Speaking of Peter, we rewatched season 1, and it was so fun watching your scenes in particular, because you could just tell like how authentically crazy they were, and you were trying to control a circus around you. When you're looking back at season 1, is there anything you would have done differently, knowing all that you know about reality TV now?
Yeah, there would have been a few things that I would have done differently. Absolutely. As they say, hindsight is 20/20, but I would definitely have done a few things very differently. But there's certain things that you can't do when you're in that position, because you're managing everyone. You're having to you're everyone's boss, so you can't really overstep those bounds. But absolutely, as far as certain things are concerned, I would have done things very different.
Did you feel like you were kind of in a tough spot? Because yes, you were
I was
on,
a little bit.
right? Like you
Oh,
were
big
on
time.
reality TV, but you had higher stakes than everyone else, because I feel like you were a bit higher up at SUR than they all were. So how do you like balance that?
Well, it's very interesting, because I was friends with everybody, and that's why I went with everybody everywhere, because I started as a busser.
Oh, wow.
And then I moved up to server. I already knew how to bartend, so I just fell into that role of server. And then 2010, before we opened the lounge, because I have been at SUR since 2008, and that's what makes the show work, was the relationships that were happening. We didn't start shooting
1000%.
until 2011. There's five years of history by the time we started picking up a camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once I became manager, because we expanded from SUR restaurant to the lounge, to that big area that we were in the other night. Once we did that, they needed a second manager. So it was me and Diana, and you all remember Diana was my work wife.
Oh, and for those of you that don't remember, Kristen Doty, suck a dick, Diana.
That Diana.
And Kristen to this day regrets that, because I brought that up one time on Kristen's podcast on her show. And she was all like, I can't believe I said that, because I love Diana, because her and Diana are very close.
And
you know
I've
what I mean?
seen, you know what, I'm glad that you said that, because I have seen a ton of photos of them together in like matching Halloween costumes. So you could tell Kristen had just had it up to here that day, but it's one of the most iconic lines in Vanderpump.
It's very
history.
iconic. It is a very iconic moment. It's a very iconic line. sadly, that little area that she set it in doesn't exist. We expanded into a extra dining area. We expanded the kimono area.
Yes, and I've eaten in there and it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, but so before it was a little smoking area with a tree coming out, and you would see that on that particular episode. You would see that part. There was a smoking area. So after I'd be done with brunches, what's funny is that this past weekend I worked my first brunch in over few brunches in over a year.
Wow.
And after brunch, I used to get my margarita and my cigar, and I go sit outside at that particular area and smoke a cigar and drink
That's a good life.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
It's funny looking back on it. It was a great life. It was kind of like being in high school or college again, where you're like, okay, I don't have to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm just kind of doing this and having a good time, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm hanging out with my friends, and I'm getting paid for it, and I have a great job. Now it's more like, okay, well, I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish by the time I was 40. Where to go next? And hence the reason why I have Reality Network now. And that's my pride and joy. That's my jewel.
Aww.
So yeah. So that's my child that I'm trying to raise up.
That's really great though that you can sit here and say I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish at 40. I don't think a lot of people can say that.
I had delusion. I had this image in my head of driving down Laurel Canyon in a convertible, And this was when I was a kid, and being a producer for movies, and and then next cut to me producing a movie, driving down Laurel Canyon, talking to Rob Federick, the director of said movie. And I'm like, I remember telling him vividly on the phone. I was like, what's funny is that I envisioned this when I was a kid, and now here I am. So there's a lot of stuff that I accomplished by the time I was 40, and I'm like, okay, where to next?
You manifested it. It was a full circle moment. I have a question, and this is such a Kate question, and our gabbers. Yeah.
She's been itching to ask this for years.
Kate,
so I've talked about this on Pat. It's really not that crazy. You're going to roll your eyes at why I'm asking this.
You're going to be like, this?
But I have talked about this on our podcast before because it bothers me. Because, we live in LA. I need to know, where did everyone actually live when the show started? Because there's no way everyone lived in West Hollywood. Or they did?
I lived on Cloverdale.
Okay, so that's mid-city, right?
345 South Cloverdale. So that's so literally I lived on La Brea and 3rd.
Okay, yeah, that's close.
So there's a Trader Joe's right there that I used to walk to.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. I lived there. Tom, and Jax lived on Kings Road right over here.
So they did live in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was such a fucking skeptic.
We would walk. Of course, Kristen didn't like to walk, but we would walk to their place, or I would walk to their place sometimes, but she liked to drive. You know what I mean? I remember one night, a long time ago, I remember walking back with a certain someone, and she and I making out on the corner of right over here, actually, where I'm living now. San Vicente and Melrose. And then, I pass by that area every day. Like, it's kind of interesting because you walk that area, and I remember walking with her back to her car, and Kristen Doty was all like, oh, I'll get you a taxi because Ubers didn't exist at this time. And she was all like, no, she's fine. We'll walk together. You know what I mean? But so they lived over there on Kings Road. Let's see here. Katie lived close to Runyon Canyon.
Okay.
At the time, Stassi lived over there in one street away from Larchmont. So it was Beverly, and the area is called Ravenwood, I think.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know that big building.
On that street. Yeah, she lived on that street where that big building is.
I stand corrected. I was like, dude, they're living in fucking Burbank. There's no way they can afford.
No. We all lived around here. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But Jax and Brittany. Did Jax and Brittany live in West Hollywood?
Yeah.
Damn it. I thought for sure they were closer downtown.
They lived close to where Guillermo lived.
Damn, I really was hard fast on the fact that none of them could afford to live in West Hollywood. So maybe that was just me. Maybe I was just a poor soul.
If you think about it, though, at the time I lived with, it was me, my brothers. So there was 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and then, but I just graduated college. My brother Paul has just started his job at Ralph Lauren, where he's Now he's the number one seller in the country.
Oh,
for
wow.
Ralph. Yeah.
That's cool.
Amazing.
Ralph-
He's so
Ralph
nice.
Lauren.
No, you didn't meet Paul.
No, you didn't meet Paul.
Oh.
Okay, Jude. Yeah, Jude is the one with the
So many
book.
men.
But we love Jude.
We
Well,
love
you know
Jude.
what's funny is that, like, yeah, I'm the oldest of 7, right? There's only one girl. One
Wait,
girl.
I did not know you had that many siblings.
That's
Yeah.
a lot, Peter. That's a
Yeah,
lot of people.
my mom and my dad, they got married and got busy.
Good for them.
You're the oldest of 7, which makes so much sense as to why you were kind of like an older brother figure to all these people on Vanderpump Rules. Wow,
Yeah,
that's like
you were
blowing
in
my mind.
charge.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you told them when to go to bed and when to
I
shut
know.
the fuck up.
I called it in one episode. I called it Adventures in Adult Babysitting.
That's
what I did.
precisely.
Yeah.
Speaking about earlier times, I'm going to use this gateway to ask this now so we can get it out of the way. But we did get a lot of questions about your very first days on Vanderpump Rules and some rumors about who you were dating, who you were not dating. And we know that you were kind of the glue that everyone knew in some capacity. Is this true? We heard this on Katie's podcast, that you left Katie to go date Stassi.
I think that reaction is our answer, but I'm going to let you speak.
The face says it all, people. The face says it all.
Man. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, I feel like Katie was even like, you know what? Stassi and I became friends out of it, so it was fine.
Yeah, I was young and I didn't know how to really date. I wasn't in the mental capacity that I am today. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't really I really have enjoyed getting older. You know, if I could go back in time and slap some sense into my younger self, I would, you know?
We wouldn't want that, though.
No, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from like everything.
Speaking of mistakes, Peter, and you don't have to answer this, you can plead the fifth, but someone wrote in and asked, who is the best kisser on Vanderpump Rules, former or current cast member?
That's not a mistake.
I'm not gonna. That's not a mistake. I'm gonna say Stassi.
Yeah,
She and I actually
Man.
dated. She and I
Okay.
actually dated. I mean, like we, you know, like there's bullshit, you know. But yeah, I'll say absolutely.
Oh, I
she
love
and I
that.
actually dated, so I'll just stick with her.
Nothing but love for Stassi on this pod. Okay, I
Yeah.
love that. All right, since you're really giving us the tea, again, you don't have to answer this, but this is a safe space. When you were working with Laura Lee, what did you think about her?
Oh, yes.
I thought she needed, you know, I thought she needed a little guidance. You know what I mean? Like she told me some stories, which I'm keeping private. You know, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, please.
Of
She told me
course.
some stories about her upbringing, and I felt sad for her, and I wanted to help her out as much as possible.
We think she was a very misunderstood person too, and
I
it
think
just
so,
wasn't
too.
I wish she would have. I almost wish she would have had a redemption in another season, but I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it was probably the best thing that she didn't go back to reality.
It was
TV.
very random. One night, it was during when we had just gotten done with season. I can't remember. It was 5 or 6. It was further down. I didn't have any. I had short hair at the time, and she randomly was picking up some friends of hers that lived in the building I was in 2015. This was the year. This was 2015 or 16. This was the year before I moved out to Park La Brea, actually.
Okay.
But,
Nice.
Everybody's
but,
lived there at some point in
yeah,
time.
yeah.
everyone's
It's a rite of
everybody's even lived there. That's where she was at throughout all almost pretty much all 10 seasons of VPR.
Wow.
I saw her randomly one night. She's like, Peter. I was like, oh shit, Laura Lee, how's it going? You know, we caught up for a minute there. Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing. I'm going back to kissing. I'm going to fast forward you a bunch of years to another kisser that we know you've been involved with. I think, did we see kisses? Anyways, Rachel/Raquel. We got a lot of questions about this too, so
right.
we'd be amiss if we didn't ask. Did you have any inclination about Scandival before it was public news?
So I thought it was really weird that this woman, this good-looking woman, is hanging out with this guy who is dating somebody. You know, I just was like, that's interesting. You know, when I saw them at the Abbey a couple of times, but that was it. I didn't really have any inclination to it. You know, I didn't really think about it very much.
Yeah, but it seems like you kind of did because you were just like, that's weird, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I did have that reaction when
But you would
when
never
I saw
think.
those two out. I didn't even think it at the time. You know,
Yeah.
I did. but I did think it was weird at the time. And I remember even asking, where's your better half? You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I can't remember what the response was. But yeah, I remember thinking that in the back of my head. I was like, why are these two hanging out all the time? It's really weird. Is it like a
Yeah.
mentorship? Yeah, I don't know.
I think a lot
Well,
of
now
people.
we know.
Yeah,
Now
well,
we
yeah,
know.
now we know. You know what? I think a lot of people had that reaction too, where I feel like a lot of people clocked it, but people just had so much faith that nothing was happening that it was just like, that's kind of weird, but you just didn't think anything of it. And that is what makes it like the most shocking thing to happen in reality TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why when it happened, I was in shock myself. I was like, this is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
We all say we remember where we were when Scandival dropped. Where were you, Peter, at that exact moment?
I was having lunch at the Henry with my brother and
Love the Henry.
a friend of mine called Dr. Cracks. He's on TikTok.
Love.
Is he someone that cracks backs?
Yeah, he's the one that cracks back.
I will follow. Immediate follow. That is my shit. I love that so much.
Dr. Cracks. That's what I was with. And so I looked down at my phone and I started seeing all this crazy stuff happen. And I was like, huh. And then I can't remember what he said, but he was all like, oh, this sounds great. This sounds crazy. I was like, sounds weird, but I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And then all of a sudden it just kept on rolling. And then you hear, oh, Tom Sandoval. I don't know. So
Right. You guys are probably used to hearing rumors and shit about you all the time. So I'm sure at first it was easy to ignore. And then when it didn't go away, you were like, okay, maybe there's something here.
Well, I mean, like about I was like, this is bullshit. And then 5 minutes later, another, and then another. And then you start getting text message. And you're like, okay, stop the press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you, and with all respect, were you surprised by it after you had your brief situationship with her? Did she seem like she was in a good place, or were there sirens going off of like, yikes?
Yeah, I had some situations during filming. Yeah. I'm not going to get into it, but
That's
there
fine.
was some times that I was just like, something's going on, and you're not telling anybody.
Yeah.
There was one specific incident that I'm not going to get into, but I was all like, "Oh no! This is unacceptable." But
Right.
it is what it is. Looking back on it, you understand, you get it in hindsight's 2020, and then you put yourself in that situation where you were at, and you're all like, "Well, that's the reason." Okay,
It makes sense. Yeah.
It does. It is like that final puzzle piece that you've been searching for that finally connects everything. And you're like, holy shit, now everything does make sense.
Yeah.
But I couldn't make sense of it before.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. I'm going to ask you another one. Let me see what we've got here. Okay. We'll lighten the mood a little bit. Who have you been the most starstruck by that
I was
you've
just
seen
gonna
at
ask
SUR?
that one.
Yeah, we need to get more fun in here. I think I know who you're going to say.
Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, good job. You passed the test.
You've talked to us about the Seth Rogen shoot.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's crazy.
Did you all watch it?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
It was Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and someone else, right?
Yeah, and I can't remember who else it was, but yeah.
Yeah, that was
It was
sick.
fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun little short film.
Oh,
Looking
yeah.
back on it, it's fun memories,
It is like a
and then,
short film.
And then we got invited to the premiere of the movie downtown LA. It was a good time.
I love that. I have another one here. Was there, and this might make you think a little bit, was there a storyline or hookup you were surprised didn't make it on the show? I think probably more so storyline would be.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen all the hookups.
I think if there was a hookup, I'm sure that it would have been caught.
Yeah, like what are some things that got cut that you were like surprised got cut?
You know what's funny is that the last season, actually, that I was on, season 10, me talking to, and all this you can find on the found footage episode, but me talking to, which ironically came out on my birthday
Oh, wow.
of last
Happy birthday
year.
to you.
But it came out on my birthday in 2023. And it was kind of dominant. Guillermo was like, Peter, did you see the new found footage episode? You dominate the whole thing. Basically, it's a bunch of scenes that all got cut out that were fantastic scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you go back and watch that particular episode, it's like, because I remember watching the actual the next episode after Rachel says, "Oh, I don't want to hang out anymore." It's like, okay, cool, whatever. It's like, all right, And then there were a bunch of other scenes that we shot after that all got cut that were hilarious. You know what I mean? To me.
Yeah.
And then of course there was one between me and Lisa that got really like, well, who's been talking shit about me? Yeah,
I
had to get
actually
the answer from her.
I watched one of them, and it was a scene of you telling her that you want to move on and that you don't think that you're gonna like want to work at SUR for much longer. And she was like, no, you can't leave. You can't leave.
She gave me the 2-year notice.
Yeah. And
Which is actually up already.
And you're still there because you're loyal. I have to say, I had just started making TikToks when that season was airing, and I had talked about that deleted scene on my TikTok because I was like, why would they delete this? Like, this should have been on the show. Everyone agreed with me. Everyone's very justice for Peter on TikTok, and you would not believe, not to like be weird, but the amount of comments for people being like, are you and Peter related? You guys look so much alike.
You do?
Yeah, but don't worry.
Well, what's funny is that my sister does not look like me at all.
Oh, well, then there you go. What does she look
Swapped
like?
at birth.
She has that very Scott, very Scott blood. Because our mom's Scott Irish, our dad's Hispanic. So I'm the only one that came out actually looking Hispanic. Everyone else in my family all got my mom's genes.
Right.
I'm the only one that came
interesting.
out tan.
You were
so
blessed.
my sister's very, she has that Scottish look. Yeah, Scott Irish, yeah, around there.
It's interesting how that happens.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting how that happens.
Very interesting. And how Kate's here and she's there.
And we're not related after all this time.
Wait, Kate, what's your last name?
My last name's Riccio. What if I said my last name's Madrigal? No, it's Riccio. But I'm Italian, not Hispanic.
Although Madrigal is Italian in origin.
Madrigal. I like how you said that. Let's see. So we know we have your reality network where you can make whatever show you want about whatever you want. This is your chance to plug yourself. Is there a show on right now on TV that you had the chance to be on, you would love to participate in?
Good one.
Ooh, good one. Oh, Traders.
Yes! Peter, you would be so good at Traders.
Traders.
That's the right answer.
Because everyone would trust you, but you could really use that to your advantage. I think, that'd be so fun to watch.
You have good rapport with housewives, and if Traders has taught us anything, is that the Housewives Alliance on Traders is big, and they always bring in other Bravo people. I feel like you guys could really win that shit.
Oh yeah. So hey, Traders.
Okay, we'll put it out in the app. We'll clip it so they can see it.
There we go.
Actually, quick question: who is your favorite and least favorite housewife you've met? Because you guys were really
Lisa
in the
Vanderpump is going to be number one.
Not counting Lisa. She's the queen.
Not counting Lisa, but that's the obvious answer, as we would say too.
I know Vicky pretty well.
Okay, so does that mean does that mean she's your favorite or least favorite?
She's second to Lisa. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a surprising connection. How do you know Vicky?
Well, a long time ago, I met her. How did I meet her? No, I have her number in my phone. But how did I'm trying to remember how I met her. And then I had her do a cover for a magazine that I owned at the time. I started a magazine years ago, and I left it because like my business partner and I did not see eye to eye. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to even participate in this anymore. I'm out.
Right.
But I had her do the cover, so I picked her up and we went to the cover, the photo shoot, and got that done. I've known Vicky for a while. She was actually, it's funny. I did Weight Watchers last year. I was their spokesperson. I created 7 cocktails for Weight Watchers last year.
Wow.
And I hosted a party bus for Weight Watchers at BravoCon in Vegas. Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, last year at this time, actually, a year ago today, actually.
Did she whoop it up?
And Vicky was on the bus, right, with a bunch of other Bravo celebrities, and it was a good little catch up. You know what I mean?
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
She whooped it up, right? That's her phrase. She says, "I whoop it up."
Yeah, I don't watch Orange County, so I assumed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch Orange County either, so I don't know.
Oh, what a shame. Well, I'm sure she had a really good time. She seems very fun.
She did. She was asking me a lot of questions about and what's cool about her is that like when she talks, everyone kind of quiet down. You know what I mean? When she wanted to ask me something, everyone kind of like, because she's the OG,
Yeah, you respect her. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you watch Vanderpump?
No.
Interesting.
Have you ever watched Vanderpump?
I've watched season 4 because I was doing a recap of it for Rob Schulte for
Oh,
Vanderpump
we love
Rules.
Rob.
So
Oh.
we were going through the entire season. We stopped actually because we never got to the couples therapy episodes.
Oh my God, there would have been a lot to
Tragic.
say about
I
those.
Yeah,
know.
tragedy.
I know. It's
Do
all
you
good.
do you I know you said you didn't listen to your episode of Shenanigans, but do you ever listen to like anyone's podcast really, or like just really ones that you're on?
I don't even listen to the ones I'm on. Here's the thing, I'm so busy.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of just focused.
What's the future for Peter Madrigal?
The future is
Madrigal.
building Madrigal. Yeah.
Madrigal.
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 The future for Peter is to build my company and the immediate future is to get this particular person a TV show on my channel and get the ads going. Right now, I'm looking to start advertising on different channels and on Instagram. So if you're scrolling through and you see an advertisement from Reality Network, it's me.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to do that. That's the immediate. But my goal is to build my channel, to build my company into something special.
Well, we're sure that you're going to do it. No doubts about it on
I
our
appreciate
end.
that.
Oh,
Thank you.
totally. And then when are you at SUR if people want to come and see you?
I'm at SUR Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night.
At night. No brunches. Don't even think about it.
I've got one final question.
Carolyn's like,
Top
wait
it all
one
off.
motherfucking second.
One more. We got a few asking, is Peter Madrigal single?
Yes.
Okay, ladies, there you have it.
Yeah,
Okay,
there
well,
we
wait,
go.
wait, wait. Since Carolyn opened up, we also had a follow up that said, "Would you ever date someone who is a big fan of Vanderpump Rules?"
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't mind that. Like it's
Also,
You-
who
you-
isn't? Who isn't a fan?
Yeah,
Honestly.
it'd be weird if they
It's
were.
like the Vanderpump Rules is a cultural phenomenon. You know what I mean? It's referenced in TV shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's very well known. What's funny is I'd be surprised if someone didn't know about it. If someone wasn't upfront with being like, oh, I have no idea what it is. It's like, no. You know.
Well,
So-
you know who says they've never seen Vanderpump Rules is Tom Sandoval's new girlfriend. And she's 32 years old, and I'm 31, and every single person in my life, yeah, that's the face. I'm like, you have to have seen it. Let's be real. But whatever, to
Buy
each
it,
their
I
own.
don't buy it. Whatever.
Thank you so much for coming. This was really fun. Seriously. Where can everybody find you and Reality Network on social media?
So you can check me out on Instagram at Peter_Madrigal, and same with TikTok, Peter_Madrigal. On X, Twitter, you can find me at LLPJ Madrigal, and the one that came up with that was Stassi Schroeder.
Wait, what's
No,
the
it's-
Brand
LL?
genius.
What is that? I don't get it.
Ladies love Peter Madrigal.
Oh my God.
She's a genius.
So one night is when we were dating too. So one night she's like, Peter, you don't know what Twitter is? I was like, I have no idea. She's all like, let's put and you know what your handle should be? I was like, okay.
No, you can never change that. That's so
I'm
good.
never gonna change it.
And
Never,
then
ever.
it's realitynetwork.com.
RealityNetwork.tv
.tv. Don't you forget it.
because it's TV, baby. Real life, real drama, real TV, only on the Reality Network.
Oh, it smells so good. Sounds so good. And
Oh yeah,
smells
and
good.
then the color to the color palette, the color of the logo, everything. It's just
And it's a great website. We've been on it.
no, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you've
you
got
very much.
you've got a great photo on there, Mr. Co-President.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
All
Well,
right.
Peter, you are the best, and we hope this isn't the
appreciate
last
it. Thank
time we see you. And I know our fans
be.
were genuinely so excited for you
I
to
love
be
it.
on. So,
I love it.
yay!
Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
You're
Peter.
very welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.